But these two judges said that was unlawful and that the Trump administration needed to release the funds for this program.
More breaking news tonight, and the situation is escalating fast. A second federal judge has now ordered the Trump administration to use emergency USDA funds to keep SNAP benefits running through November. 42 million Americans depend on these benefits to feed their families, and as of this morning, those accounts were set to hit zero. But judges in Boston and Rhode Island, issuing rulings just minutes apart, told the administration that shutting down the program was unlawful and that the nearly $6 billion in emergency reserves must be released immediately.
Breaking news now, the Supreme Court says it will hear an expedited appeal of President Trump's attempt to end birthright citizenship by executive order.
At the exact same time this fight over food aid was unfolding, another constitutional firestorm exploded in Washington. President Trump publicly attacked U.S. District Judge Judge Boasberg after the judge halted deportation flights carrying more than 200 Venezuelan nationals. The administration kept the flights going anyway, despite the court order, and when Boasberg demanded answers, Trump went on Truth Social calling him a radical left lunatic and urging Congress to impeach him. That's not criticism, that's a direct attack on the judiciary. And then something almost unheard of happened. Chief Justice John Roberts stepped in. Roberts almost never comments on political disputes, but he issued a public statement reminding the president that impeachment is not a weapon for disagreeing with rulings, and that the appeals process exists for exactly this reason. When the Chief Justice of the United States has to give the president a civics lesson, you know the situation is beyond normal politics. Judge Boasberg's concerns were serious. He said the administration ignored his order, offered inadequate explanations, and may have misled the court about who was actually being deported.
The reason the court is getting involved here is simply because of the magnitude of the issue, the attempt by President Trump repeatedly now to...
If a judge believes the government is defying the law, that raises the possibility of contempt, a rare and severe rebuke toward the executive branch. And this is not an isolated case. Multiple judges across the country have accused the administration of rushing actions, bending rules, even filing questionable declarations. Judges appointed by both Democratic and Republican presidents are all expressing the same alarm. This is bigger than immigration, bigger than SNAP, bigger than any single ruling. It's a test of the separation of powers. Courts are supposed to serve as a check on the executive. Presidents are supposed to follow court orders, not attack judges personally or try to get them removed for doing their jobs. Because once a president normalizes the idea that every judge who rules against him is corrupt, the public stops trusting the courts altogether, and the rule of law collapses. This clash is part of a growing pattern: pressure on immigration judges, threats against prosecutors, attacks on any institution that attempts to provide oversight. And now, with Roberts himself stepping in, we're witnessing one of the most significant confrontations between a president and the judiciary in modern American history. The next steps matter. Will the administration comply with these rulings? Will the courts escalate their response to defiance? And how far will the president go in challenging the limits of his authority? The answers will define the balance of power in this country for years to come. Stay with us.